Yeah, no, on some real shit though, bro. Like, man, this this was something I wanted to do. You feel me? For a minute.
Are you naming this, or is this
This
like
is beneath the ink.
is this like an official episode?
This
Of it?
official episode,
Okay.
episode number one. It's going down.
You can't see the Christmas tree though.
Nah, it's got the Christmas tree too though. You
You
can't.
can't see it at all.
But yeah, nah, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. This is something I've been wanting to do, and so I was like, my birthday today, my birthday. You feel me? I should have had a little cake or something, but I hella wanted to do it.
Tea.
Yeah, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Like, yep, I got my little coffee, but that's hella. This is just like really what I wanted to do. Was just like. I was telling myself, bro, you don't stop talking about doing some shit. You know how we do that, like as entrepreneurs and shit. We always like, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and we think of a million ways that like reasons why that shit don't happen. You feel me? So I was just like,
it's kind of the job to always think of the next thing and the next thing. It's just the execution of the idea. We get lost in the sauce and like, oh,
yeah, but I don't know, bro. Like I said last night, I was just like, bro, I ain't gonna lie, I'm like no fucks given no more. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't like it's to that point where it's like I had to do it because if not, I don't know. I got to the point where there ain't no other choice. You feel me? Like just do it or shut the fuck up and you know do this like content stuff, you know, or and go all in on your business or whatever, or just get a fucking job, bro. Like you know what I mean? Like straight up, like on some real shit. Because if that's just where it comes to, you know what I mean? We can complain about everything. I know we've been talking all about the, you know, just like social media and how the trades is going and all that type of stuff. But it's like, okay, we've identified what some of the problems are. So what you gonna do about it? You know what I'm saying? You're gonna just keep overthinking shit and not putting nothing out, or
isn't it like amazing how like a lot of times you kind of know like I know what I need to do.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like it could go on for years. Like, oh, I should have been did this. And you still don't do it until you get to the point where like, all right, I absolutely have to try something.
Exactly.
This is my second time. Like it fucking just turn on. So,
yeah.
But I've been like that forever, you know. And I ideally wanted to like be able to operate where I didn't have to be like no one have to see me. Like,
behind the scenes.
Unfortunately, I think the world shifted to where it's like you can't really be as successful just doing that. Which I mean, it's okay, but you know, like no matter how much you don't like it, you have to conform. You know, to if you want to be seen, if you want to have like connect. But also, if you're building a brand too, like it just makes more sense that people can actually see you and hear you, and you can't just be some shadowy figure. Whereas like, oh, like I see what the end result is, and like that's it.
Exactly. That's what I was talking because I was telling my mans about it downstairs. He was working on the downstairs the remodel thing, and he has he does business. He does HVAC and does all these different things, and he was just like he was even unaware of like how impactful or whatever social media is. He was like, damn, it really be like you guys got to do, you know. And I was like, yeah, bro. I was like, maybe because his business is like it's like a must, you feel me? Like motherfuckers need heat, you feel me? So you just whatever.
Yeah. He still has the type of business where you can literally just Google it and the first thing that pops up, like I just need somebody who does this.
Exactly.
But I think also some people like, you know, when you get to a point where like I have to separate between this person, like what are those? Like they all do the same thing. Why am I gonna pick this one, or this one? You know, and it might be like I be telling people it's like that. The biggest reason like why you separate where you can probably get the same service is like you like the person.
Yeah.
You know, that's going to be the biggest thing. And for what we do, like you don't, like I said, you don't meet the people until you meet them. You know what I'm saying? But someone sitting at home, like whatever you do, like if you can't meet them, like what experience you have? You're going to ask a friend, like who did you go mess with to get this tattoo? Or who'd you go to, like, who did this for you? Like, because I'm going to trust your judgment, you know? And that's the personal connection, like you can vouch for them. But if you're just trying to get a stranger just out of thin air, like they don't know you, they can't see you, they can't hear you, it's very hard to connect to where like I'm going to feel comfortable to reach out to you, you know, out of nothing. You know?
Exactly. And so how do you like, because the only thing I could think of is like almost, like you said, if you see somebody else, you did a service for somebody, then somebody's like, oh, where'd you get that done, this and that.
That to me, that's always been the most powerful.
Yeah, like, word of mouth.
Word of mouth is like by far like someone they can never even see your work, and they'll be like, hey, my friend told me to go, so I'm gonna trust them. You know, and like that's it. And I literally I only came because my best friend told me, my auntie told me, whatever, and like they referred me to you. You know? And that's I've had a lot of conversation where it starts with that. We're like, oh shit, you don't even. you don't even know what I could do. You don't know how much I charge. You just know like you were happy. They were happy with the service and they told you. You know what I'm saying? And I always even tell for clients too. That's the most powerful thing you could do.
Yeah.
Is like best thing you give me. Tell somebody that doesn't know about it what I do. Tell like someone that trusts you about it.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
there's no newspaper ad. There's no online ad that's more powerful than you telling them that person.
Yeah, and then I think that's what I was gonna say. Like, even like say we have websites or social medias or whatever. Like, you even gotta take it a step further because then they may be like, oh, this and this person did it. Check them out.
Yeah.
And then when they go to your shit, you gotta have. I think that's when we have to have our personality, or at least a big body of work. Or
it's definitely not a guarantee. Yeah, it's definitely not a guarantee. Like, oh, I went and check this person out. But there is a difference between I'm telling you go work with this person and I'm just share this. That's a big difference. And I don't think some people. It's like you ever have somebody like like I'll repost your stuff. Like that's good. But a referral, like when I'm referring somebody, I'm like, hey, Al. This dude did my brakes, bro. Like, he did a good ass job. He did it for cheaper. Like, mess with him. Versus like, I'm gonna send you some couple people's pages.
Yeah,
that's different. Like, I'm actually putting on for this person. Like, hey, if you don't like him, like, I'm telling you from my experience, like, you should go to him. Versus like, hey, check him out. You make your judgment. Exactly. Those are very, very big differences. And I think like, even now, people get caught in like, oh, I should. It's like I reposted this. That's not the same thing. Especially when they have when we're talking about social media and everybody has different audiences who follow them for different reasons.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, I'm always grateful when people repost my stuff, but your audience is following you because they love your tattoos. If you repost my photography, they may like it, they may not, but it's not like the majority of them like, oh shit, I'm gonna go hire this photographer,
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's great to be seen, but like the level at which you would kind of like, book something off that is not as high as somebody would think. No matter
even if you had be in the market,
even if you had 100,000 followers, you know what I'm saying? I worked with models, right?
Yeah.
They have 100,000 plus followers. If I do something with them, they'll all see me and want to book with me. But they're following this person for a particular reason. Yeah. And it may not be the reason that I'm following.
Yeah.
What people follow me for.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So you get, that's also a thing too. So that's also a big difference between like a recommendation and like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna show other people your stuff. You're grateful for either way, but like that's how when you building relationships and personal connections is so powerful.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. That's what it's what happens when you're doing that service. You know what I mean? And how you carrying yourself and all that. And I think that's where we gotta. That's again like where we came back to like that's why we want to put out more content and we want to do all that is because that's where they're gonna get a feel for us. You feel me? And when we doing the service, the little shit that we do that you don't necessarily advertise. You know what I'm saying? That's been the hardest part. That's been the hardest part.
Also sometimes too, it's like something you may even think is not even important.
Yeah.
And some people like, oh, that's actually a great tidbit of information. Like I was just talking.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the little shit, but it's no different. Like we were tattoo artists, right? If you explain to somebody the aftercare and then they had a tattoo before, like, oh, they just did my tat and left. That would resonate so much. Like he actually like the care and walking me the steps and like he actually cares for like how it's gonna look 6 months from now and like explain to me why somebody's doing something. All that little stuff it creates more value for the person. Like I feel like I trust this person to do my entire I want you to draw my entire body now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And building that relationship versus like they remember back in the day they probably still have it, but the walk-in shops.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's almost like a menu and like they don't really go back to that same person. I feel like more artists now are just like, hey, you create this relationship and you do all my stuff.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
So let me ask you this, like those little, you said it yesterday, like the little intangibles or whatever, like whatever, the way with my business, for instance, you come in, like, hey, you want something to drink or something? Have you ate? Or you ain't ate? Man, fuck it, let's go get something to eat real quick. Like those little things, would you say like being in the business for so long, do you ever get to the point where you're like, damn, I'm kind of slacking. Like I'm not doing so much. Like you get like stuck in the routine of like booking, shooting. Okay, we good? Or you know what I mean?
I think everybody falls in a routine of being comfortable.
Yeah.
So where like just think about you think always about the first year you tried something. That's probably the year that you went the hardest. For me for sure. And the ironic part is like the first year was like as far as being good at what you're doing, I was like the least amount of like talent.
Yeah.
But I had the most amount of effort for sure.
Yeah.
And then at some point,
I could resonate with that too.
And you're just going hard, but you're also so excited just to be trying something new. But vice versa. If you had like, if the talent level you have when you 10 years deep or something, and you have that same amount of effort, you're like, oh shit, you probably be winning. There's like, you know, but at some point there is like a level of comfort, I think, where it's like, I don't know. It's hard to sometimes it's hard to recognize it in the.
You really gotta take a minute.
Someone has to damn near tell you.
Yeah.
You know, unless you have like some kind of evaluation method where you can like, you know what, I've been slacking in this area, or something happens where something happens you're not used to, or something drastically changes, like you ain't making the same amount of money that you used to. You
it'll force you to like.
You force you. So the smart way is like recognizing it before it gets to a point where, like, oh shit, what the fuck have I not been doing? You know, versus like, oh shit, I can kind of see where this is headed. You know, like it's headed in the opposite direction I want to.
Have you personally gone through that?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, where you had to be like, hold up, something ain't right because this, you know, the way my bank account's set up.
No, for sure. And then the most frustrating part is like, there's never like a clear answer what it, like you can speculate on like this is why, and then sometimes it might be 8 different things that I'm not doing or I am doing or what's changing.
Yeah.
You know, you might blame the external circumstances, you know, how social media is, you know what I'm saying, what you know, the market's dried up, you know, recession, whatever. There's so many different things and you have to kind of like figure out which is the actual right, and there's not ever a clear-cut answer either.
Yeah, because
there's never like I wish you could like you can't even get like 100% like this is what it was.
Like this one thing, you know, transpired, and the next day my shit just went. It's always a gradual. But you know what's some crazy shit, bro? Like so, because I've pretty much been going through that, right? And so I'm just like, you know, like even if you got a lot of shit going on in your life and like issues and everything, I know one thing. When the money issue would just make everything seem so much more. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like I can handle whatever, my kid acting up, or I can handle this family, this person doing. As long as my money's right, like I can. It doesn't make everything better, but like you just. I have a little bit more energy to like focus and try. But when you know when the bread ain't, then it's like damn, bro. I'm stressing out.
You start doing stuff that you wouldn't have normally done in the same situation because right now you
discount special this and that kind of thing.
And you know what the worst thing is where you have something like that and you're like I'm gonna offer a crazy ass discount and nobody react to it.
Nobody react. That'll have you ready to quit.
That's when bro, because you start playing. And then it's like the psychological part, like which is a lot of times is not like rational, but you might be thinking, oh, I can't even get this shit out for half the price. It ain't worth nothing.
Yeah.
Versus like it might that day that somebody's seen it, it might not have been the right time, and like might you know, and you but you just automatically equate like, oh, nobody took this, and I'm just dangling this out, it didn't work, and then that's it, and then it further like drives you down like, oh, I gotta do something even crazier, even more drastic, and then it's like
it's
a little
crazy,
effect.
just like that, because then what we're doing is. We're almost basing our value off of the reaction, like
the instant reaction.
Instant reaction, like not even. I know I won't even like. Sometimes I'll do shit like that, and it's not. I don't even bother looking at the analytics, seeing how many people looked at it, opposed to follow or not. Whatever.
Because then you'll start creating a story in your head. Like, oh, 250 people just saw this.
Well, maybe I ain't got it no more. You know
but that's such a real thing too, because I think like. At least for me, it's always like I need an answer. Like I need even if I can't find one, it's almost like you make one up in your head. Like why did this happen? I need a reasoning. It can't just be like there's no reason. You know, there's something, and sometimes it's negative. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's negative. You have to tell yourself a negative story, like, oh, this is why it might be something like, oh, I feel like I'm just not good anymore.
Yeah.
Which you, in the right state frame of mind, you might, oh, that's fucking ridiculous. But if I'm talking about it, like,
it ain't me,
you know,
it's something with them. But when you down, you're like, shit. Yeah. You know what I mean?
You start telling yourself all types of crazy shit, man.
Yeah. And I think, I don't think a lot of people, and this is another big reason why I wanted to do this show, bro, is because I don't know, call it like the old head in me or whatever, but like I'm seeing a lot of shit on like Instagram, social media, whatever, and it's just everything is just painting. It's either actually it's not painting everything as perfect. It's actually either super fucked up, violent, or whatever, a bunch of bullshit, or it's a lot of people looking like they just winning. You know what I mean? And I just wanted to make this. Or just at least people get a glimpse of like what's really going on.
What really goes on, yeah.
You know, and so I guess this is basically, even though we're so many minutes into it, this is the intro. You know what I'm saying?
The longest intro ever fucking created.
You know what I'm saying? It's beneath the ink. So basically that's why I wanted to create this, because I wanted to show people what's really going on, you know, underneath the skin. And again, this ain't no tattoo shit. You know, where we're gonna be talking about the tattoo industries and all that kind of stuff. It's not really that. It's more of just an authentic is going on into the brand of authentic black and gray. Like I just want to be real, get real people on here talking about what's really going on. Not like, oh, I want to promote my this and that. Nah, like especially if I know whatever, maybe everything ain't so rosy or whatever. I want to like have discussions about it, because then who knows, maybe we can uncover some ways to fix it, or at least give people an understanding of like, oh shit, I thought they was win, or I'm not, I thought, because then they feeling bad too, you know what I mean, when you compare yourself and shit. Where I just wanted to say like, not everybody on this Instagram, don't let that shit fool you. You know what I mean? I could make it look like I'm rich as fuck right now if I wanted to, taking the right pictures and all that.
And I think even as an entrepreneur, just in general, whenever you run your own business, I don't know what it is, but like people automatically think it's always going good.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Now, I will say, like, when you run your own business, like for me, like the highs are way higher, but the lows are way lower.
Yeah,
you know
for sure.
But when people like when it's going good, like I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't do anything else.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. But what people don't understand is like when it's going bad. It's
not.
Everybody's not built for it. You know what I'm saying? Like not everybody would survive that shit. And then sometimes like you have to give yourself a pat on the back. Like I don't know how the fuck I made that last year work. You know what I'm saying? Like,
bro, do you ever get that? Did you ever have them times where you're just like sitting back like, what if I did something, like what job would I like?
Yeah,
if I was to say fuck it and go get a job.
Well, I don't think you can't do no business on your own. Like I done quit so many times unofficially.
Yeah,
where I'm like, nobody didn't tell nobody, but I'm like, I'm not doing it. I'm done. Like I'm off.
They didn't even know what you retired.
I might even pull up monster.com just see like, what is a job? What do they even? How do you even do a job anymore?
Yeah.
And then like I don't know, something happens. You're like, what the fuck was I thinking? That was the stupidest shit I've ever. But that's when you get those different mind frames.
Yeah, it's all in your mind, bro.
If I had to say how many times I quit, bro, I had to quit at least 8 times.
Yeah,
you know, at
like
least,
legit.
That I'm like, I'm done. Like, all right, fuck this shit.
Like, how much can I liquidate? How much could I get for this equipment? Type of shit. Yeah.
Now I would say when it happens, like maybe 2 days at a time. Like it's not like it's happened for a month, you know.
Yeah.
You know, there's been a couple times, maybe a little bit longer, but it's like something brings you back to your senses. I'm like, this is what I do. I can't do anything else. Like, and that's like, and I always tell people when it comes to passion and love, like that's usually how you know. If you were looking at like a relationship, like like if you really love somebody, y'all have fights and you have falling outs, and it's like you don't just get up and leave them.
Yeah.
If you really fuck with like like, I'm gonna figure out how I'm gonna make this work because I really love this person. I'm gonna do whatever I can.
And
it's
all the things they've done for you. Remember, I was just talking in the kitchen, like I compare everything to relationships, even a relationship with your career.
Yeah.
You know, you guys ups and downs, but also how much has she fed you? Just make it a female. How much has she fed you? How much has she done this? Even though sometimes she was quiet and this happened, she still always comes back. Like I almost look at it in those terms. You feel me? So yeah, like.
But if you don't really love that person. Yeah. As soon as it goes bad, like fuck this bitch. I don't have to stick around.
I could go
get
people
who jump from job to job. You know those type of people who it's like it's really just about the money. You know, and that person would just do anything for money. So they're just this job. Yeah. Versus like I'm gonna do one thing. Like if you love it, you're gonna even if you don't make as much, it's like you could do the job that you hate. You'd stay around for that and just try to make that shit work. So that's usually how you know. So I was like, oh no, I love doing this. Like it's
what are some of the things you do like when you get in that? I know you said like there's you had to have like a process of like figuring it out or like reminding yourself. It only lasts a couple of days, but like what are some like tangible things that you can like do? Is it like writing lists or is it just like sitting in?
Usually it's like
dark
completely.
Room?
It's completely like turning my brain off from
everything else
from that particular thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and sometimes it's not. You shouldn't be doing that. It's like say if your business is going bad, like first thing I should be booking more shit or doing this thing, and I'm not even, it's like, you ever have like the to-do list is like 100 things on it and you take a nap? You know, I'm like, this is the last thing I should be doing, but I'm going to do that. It's like sometimes you need to turn that off and almost like recharge it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that could be like, I just need to let's go watch a movie. I need to go, like literally do anything where I'm not thinking about business and trying to think about like money, and I'm not thinking about like all this shit that I had to be doing, because I think once you get into a certain mind frame, you know if it's especially if it's really negative.
Yeah.
Like you're not gonna make a good decision.
Yeah.
You're just
Especially
not.
when you're trying to do some creative shit.
Yeah, you can't.
Know what I mean?
And if you force it, like I think once you realize, if you start forcing decisions, like there's nothing good coming out.
Yeah.
Like I need to be in a different space. Sometimes you just like, all right, let me just walk away from this.
Yep.
But it's no different if you work on something for a long time and your eyes get tired and you walk away, come back the next day, and you're like, oh shit. Like, I don't even know what I was like. It looks different. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to actually come back with fresh eyes, and that happens a lot too. And that's hard because sometimes life doesn't let you turn that off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
exactly.
These bills don't stop. You know what I'm saying? Like
that part. That's what I think will keep you in that negative mindset, or even keep you in that little just whatever mode about it. Because at the end of the day, we can be like, oh, let me do this, let me chill, but the PG&E and the rent mortgage, whatever, them motherfuckers don't give a fuck how creative we blocked or whatever you are or whatever. Yeah. So that's the tricky part. But I think that's where there is a sense of faith that goes into this shit, bro. I believe that.
You have to be, and something like to a fault.
Yeah.
You have to be like blindly optimistic.
Yeah,
Like almost to like this person's like dumb. Like like a logical person. Like how can you just like you have to really be like no, it'll work. It'll work because I know it worked several times before. And it's crazy. It sounds like you can't really kind of like count on that reasoning. Like like someone's a very anxious person. They're like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
But it's like sometimes people say, oh, it'll work itself out. And you be like, what the fuck are you talking about? It'll work itself out, and then it works itself out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you just kind of trust in your work too. You trust in what you do.
That's
sometimes when people will simplify it, like if you were stressed out, you're like, I don't need this right now. I need answers right now. But like sometimes it's like do what you do. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Do what you're good at. Just keep doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Don't stop.
Once you stop doing it.
Like a basketball player, like if they have a shooting slump, like especially like the shooters, like a Steph Curry, Klay Thompson type of basketball player.
Yeah.
They might, especially this season, they have like them times where they like go in slumps or like, oh shit, their career's over, this and this. And you just shoot, they say shoot your way out of it. You just keep on shooting. And then the law average just takes over. Yeah. And like, oh shit, no, he's good. He just had 6 bad games in a row. You know what I'm saying? But it's like that's how
I like that. Shoot your way out of it.
You just keep doing what you do. Like you've been doing this for years. This is what you practice. Like like unless you just fell off a cliff and then the Monstars came and took your powers. You know what I'm saying? Like you just keep doing what you do. You know what I'm saying? And then you have to bring us trust in your own process. So, and where the trust can come from, at least for me, is like when I've done something. If I got paid good to do it, like I can keep on doing it.
You see what's possible. You know what's possible.
You know what's possible. Yeah, you know what's possible. That was versus like say if I like, oh shit, can I book something for $50,000? I've never done that before. You know what I'm saying? So like, but if I do that one time, I bet you my brain's or something's gonna kick in gear. Like, oh shit, I can do this every single time. You know what I'm saying? But at least up until what I've done now, I know it's all possible, even if it slows down. You know what I'm saying? So like, I know I can keep on going, and it brings itself back. But again, like them times where you get down. And depending on what else you got going in life, it might compound on top of that, and sometimes you don't get to slow down. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So it's like there's an extra gear that you have to have. You know what I'm saying? Like just you have to be a little dumb. Yeah, I think. You got to operate on faith sometimes. And like, oh, I don't know how this is gonna work, but like, well, I'm gonna make it work.
You gotta be like a real deal hoe. Like, I don't know how we're gonna do this. But I'm gonna get this money, daddy. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But that's real though, because like. So I did my little my Reiki. Shout out to Tina, boy. She be getting my mind all right, bro. So it wasn't even no Reiki today. It was just straight therapy. And we was talking about all this stuff, and she really did make me realize. I was like, bro, like whatever your higher power is, you feel me? Like I feel like we operate best when we have like some sort of like faith in something, you know what I mean? That's like even like what we're talking about, like the faith that it's going to work out.
That's the entire basis of religion.
Yeah, like, you ain't even got to put a title on it. Just believe there's something else other than your ass doing it. Because then if not, I think, and this is what I fell into. Like I kind of like, I think I was like in a mode where it was like mostly me doing it. I know if I could grind and do this. I know if I research how to promote or do this, like I could figure this out. Or to get better, whatever. But it ain't. Sometimes when you get in that mode where you think it's you, bro, I feel like somebody, whatever, the universe, whatever,
kind of humbles
it's like, like fuck you, like remember,
show you.
I'll let you do your thing, but remember, don't forget who's doing this shit for real. Like I need you to do something, do the shit, but like I'm really pulling the string, and I really believe that, bro, because like hella shit would just start happening, bro. Like
Right.
like good shit sometimes. Like it'd just be like, damn, bro, I ain't gonna lie, shit is just pouring in.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, I don't know if you just get your confidence up, or you just think you doing your thing, or you think it's you doing it.
Right.
And then it's just the opposite will just like boom, boom, boom. Like you just keep getting hit.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's kind of where I was reaching. Like I just lost my faith. It's all me. You know what I mean? And I wasn't very trusting of whatever it is else that's helping me. You know what I'm saying? Or whoever else is helping me. So I think that's kind of the lesson or whatever that I'm trying to take from this. You know what I'm saying? It's just like I need to put my faith back in something, because when I operate like that, like shit just like the fucking red carpet just rolls out.
Yeah.
But as soon as I like, oh shit, it's popular. Okay, well let me do this now. Let me do that. And I'm like, and I even get away from like actually doing.
Yeah.
I'm just more consuming. Then, bro, that shit gets took away. That carpet get pulled up real quick,
yeah.
bro. And I'm telling you, and that's where it is. And then you almost get into those things of like, damn, why shit ain't working? What's going on? Maybe I lost it. You get all that crazy thinking,
Yeah.
and then you start doing wild shit. But you need. That's why I was asking you, what do you actually do? Because I think you need certain like practices or some sort of like exercises or something that you do.
Some kind of go-to.
Yeah,
where it's
yeah.
like when you get in that situation.
Yeah.
And I think someone who's going to be like, who's maybe, I guess more like big time would be like, they know exactly, once they get to the certain mind frame, they know exactly how to pull themselves out of it quick.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yep,
saying? So
yep.
like someone who's like super high, like successful, I think of something like maybe like a Kevin Hart type of person.
Yeah,
They just do
yeah.
so much shit because there's no way he could just like go into a dark place. I'm
Yeah.
like, bro, this guy's so much going like all the
Oh
time.
yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you juggle this many things? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a skill in itself, is like being able to manage like your emotions that quick. Because I think a lot of times it's more emotional than anything.
Yeah,
More
yeah.
emotional versus like our actions that we're doing.
Yeah.
It's really how we can manage up here.
That's what I'm saying. I think it's something bigger than us, bro.
Yeah.
Because it ain't nothing like I can't be like, oh man, I fell off. Like
There's nothing that you're physically doing. It can be nothing physically different at all.
That's what
Yeah,
hit.
yeah.
That I'm telling you, that's what hit different this time, is because I was like, bro, I know in the past, like I'll be up and then I'll like go, I'll get into the partying and binging and shit. Okay,
Yeah.
now I can blame it on that. Like I'm fucking drinking and my brain's not operating right, this and that. But this time I was like, bro, this shit is just happening. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like I can't blame it on this. People are like, oh, it's a slow season, this and that. Like
You start hearing every reason why.
we just justifying it, but it's like really deep down, it's like because I wasn't operating right from in my heart no more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it was just pouring out into everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I had a good session today, and it made me realize, like, bro, and that's again with this, because basically I realized like I'm not like giving out nothing. I'm just worried about like, hey, book, I need this money. I'm trying to remodel this house. It's all about me. Instead of like, what am I actually like producing out besides like a few tattoos here and there? Like, so that's why I wanted to do this show, bro, because I was just like, this is gonna be one way
I
of
guarantee you, somebody
doing
be
it.
watching it and be like, you know what, I'm doing exactly my same mind frame, my mindset.
Yeah.
Like, what you thinking? And they be like, oh, everybody else is doing good, and I'm not doing good. And they're like, oh shit. Like, do you ever talk to somebody and be like, tell them, man, I'm going through it. I'm depressed, and they're like, I ain't gonna lie, I'm feeling the same way. This and that. And then you just feel better because you're like, oh, it's not just me. I'm not in a dark place.
Exactly.
And when you start opening up to people, they're like, oh shit, this is actually normal.
Yeah,
so people to like feel this way, but it's like until you actually tell people like, oh shit, I feel like it's just when you're in your own head, it's hard to like, you just feel like, oh, the world's just caving in on me. There's a little cloud following me around and shit. But I'm like, oh shit, like a lot of people be going through the same shit. We're just all humans having human experiences at the end of the day.
And that's where all them little sayings of like, like without the bad times, you can't appreciate the good times. Like that shit start really making sense because like when we feeling this way or whatever, then like when shit's popping, like we wouldn't even appreciate it. You know what I mean? You wouldn't even be able to tell the difference. You know what I mean? So I think as the more we normalize it, and I not normalize it in the way of like, because I think a lot of people, it's a fine line between like normalizing and be like, oh, I'm just going through some things right now, but you're just going through the things. You know, you just keep going through them. You know what I mean? And just being like, it's okay to feel. It is, but like also giving yourself some sort of like outlet or way to like stop yourself and be like, okay, what's really happening here? Let me work on fixing that. You know what I mean? And not just being like, you know, oh man, I had a bad life. You know, this is life. This is just what it is. Keep grinding.
Yeah,
Like
it's how
that.
I am, you know?
Yeah, I ain't really, I'm not really buying that shit because I just feel like there's way more things we could do, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
I buy it in the sense when somebody tells you how this is how I am, like if you believe it, like that's how you are.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
If you don't, then it's how you. Like you can actually go either way, but
Mm-hmm.
you know. So somebody tells you they can't do something, right?
Yeah.
Like, my reaction is like, I believe you. You can't do it. You're the only person who told me you can't do it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
wouldn't bet no money that you could.
Yeah.
You know, but somebody says like if something crazy, like, oh, I want to do this, I believe I could do it. I'm like, all right, I trust this person. You know what I'm saying? Because like that's what it is.
Exactly.
It's that those little things like within that you got to pull out. Like, well, how the fuck you gonna pull it off? Like, how am I supposed to trust in you if you don't trust yourself? Type of thing. But I think the same person could go either way.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Think about any bad situation that you had and you like pulled yourself out of it, like the mindset that you had at that moment. You know, and this is why even current, like if I wake up and I'm in a bad mood, I can't even trust myself. I'm gonna pull myself out of a rut. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Versus like, say the world could be going to hell, but if I like, you know what, I'm confident in myself today. I feel like I can do anything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You know, it's just like getting to that level. You know what I'm saying? It's like if you can bring yourself to that, like that's one thing.
Yeah.
But it's like you could have $0 in your bank account and got shit going on. It's like, man, if you just feel confident, feel good that day. I have my coffee. I'm like, I'll make some shit happen. And
Yeah.
then something, you know, then the world just kind of opens up.
But
But
in a fine line though, because I get in those modes. It's very much your motive and your energy going into it. Because like how you said, you know, I got man, you know what I'm gonna do? I could do this. As opposed to, because this is where I go with it. Yeah. Man, fuck Eric. I'm about to do this shit. Like I'm about to, man. They got, you know, like it's not from a positive, you know, energy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's where I've kind of learned to be like, man, you know what? You can't be like that. Like do the shit, do the work. You know, you can operate from your dark side a little bit, but just remember, there's something else bigger than you that's really gonna open a door. You know what I'm saying? You could knock on it. That's just metaphorically like doing the work is knocking, but you ain't gonna open the door yourself. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like you can knock, show them that you're deserving of it or whatever, but then somebody else gonna open it. Because as soon as you think you can bust through the door, bro, shit just get worse, bro.
Do you think you have to identify what that is first? Like for like say like not maybe for yourself. You think people like, oh, it just have to be religion? Does it have to be more spirituality? Is it like anything specific, or you just have to like understand there's something?
Honestly, I don't think it needs to be like.
It doesn't have to have the name.
I don't think we have to have a label on it, cause I without a doubt like know that there's something for sure. Yeah. You know, I think putting a label on something, honestly, putting a label or a title on something that's honestly like that powerful or whatever in the first place don't even really feel right either. You know what I mean? Like you can't even put a name to some shit like that.
Yeah. And then also too is like once you kind of do have like a name to something, there's like an emotional response too. Like, you remember doing the meditation training? Yeah. Remember they gave us a what is it called?
Oh, the little phrase, mantra?
It's a mantra, but they're like, oh, we're going to get, it's like a sound.
Yeah.
Because they don't want you to have an emotional connection to that sound. So probably like the same thing.
That
you say, hey,
yeah.
you know, what is this higher power? You say, it's X, Y, Z, you know, whatever it is. And then you start thinking like, well, this is how the world views it. This is how my girl views it. This is how my mom views it.
Yeah.
And then like maybe it might change up based on all that too. You know,
yeah.
Something like that where it's like, okay, once we start naming it, like it would make something entirely different than what you're thinking it should be.
I believe that, and I believe whatever it is so big and above all of it. It's not even tripping. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
I don't give a fuck
what you call me. As long as you know, I see you working hard. I'm gonna bless you. You know what I mean?
That makes so much sense too, because like no matter what name you put on it, like if there is a power like this, you know, above us, like, why would it care about?
Yeah, why do they care about names? That's why I never, like, not to bash nothing, but, I said jealous, was it a jealous God or something? You know, I've heard that word. I'm like.
It's like, very hard to rationalize that. Like,
if he's so lit, he getting jelly, bro. Like, I never really resonated with that shit. But yeah, no, I think that's kind of what my lesson for the day is like I said, it's my 37th birthday, bro. My thoughts aren't on like, oh, let me go do this, let me go turn. It's literally, let me get back to like knowing that I'm not running the fucking show. Like that's literally my whole shit for the day, and that's why I wanted to do this. You know what I mean? Because I was like, I don't know. My shit been off track for real. Where it's, it gets you thinking different ways. Where you just, I want, man, I'm gonna do this. And then what's crazy is another thing that I realized today was like I got to the point where I've worked on detachment a lot. Like I'm like a Buddhist type of, detachment and stuff. Oh, minimalist, this and this and that. And I really started realizing like, I think a level of the detachment is super important. But like I got to the point where like it was almost like a defense mechanism. You know what I'm saying? Like when shit ain't working right and I'm like, oh man, I'm about to lose this or this and that. Oh, never mind. I wasn't attached to it anyway. It could go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was just letting me, it was just like a justification of like not caring about it. But really I care about it. I just ain't hacking it. You know what I'm saying? Like life just ain't working right, So that's like been my other thing that I want to work on is like, I'm detached. I don't care about material things.
So real detachment is gonna be like, I really didn't want that in the first place.
Yeah, exactly. And if you're that detached, then don't even have it. The fact that you have it means something.
That you at one point like, I really need to get that. I got the money. I'm gonna do it, and then now I have it.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Makes sense.
Because I was over there on some like, oh, you know what? What do we even do this for? What does this mean? And then I've gotten the shit. Woke up. Got rid of cars and like it's nothing.
Bro, since I know you, I can't even count how many cars.
Bro, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I was really tripping off of. I was like, do I really just not care about the cars? Or was it the fact that I could get rid of it and that's just one less thing I have to worry about? Was that what I really wanted? You know what I'm saying? So that's been interesting. But yeah, what other things do you think you can like what other things do you like pull from? Like I know like you have a kid coming into the world pretty soon. I think that's gonna be a big one.
That puts perspective on like really important shit.
Yeah.
And a lot of times like what I find even so far is like we still got 2 months to go. But I always find like the things that I'm thinking about I want to get for myself is like not important at all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even if it's like something for leisure, like I'm like, you know what? I don't need that. You know what I'm saying? But now it's easy for me to justify like I don't need that at all. Like I ain't gonna have no time to really do that, I used to be like, I used to really love video games and shit, and there's so many games I wanted to play, like I ain't even tripping off like getting them shit. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
like
let me tell you about that, boy. I stay changing up, like what is it? I guess what you call it, just a value system or what you think is important, and what do you think? Let's dive into that a little bit. Like what are some of the things? Yeah, like you said, video games that you was into. And then now that you're not into them, like what do you think was conducive to that?
I was still like say for example, there's like a lot of games I want to play. I might get to play one, and I'm like that's fine.
Yeah.
And even there's certain games I'm like I just know I got the time to do that.
Yeah.
But also understand like that's okay. Like I'm like okay, what do I like? Why do I want to do that? Like it's just a little chance to turn your brain off and escape.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if shit's going good all the time, I don't want to escape as much.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Little shit like that. Like there's a lot of stuff that I enjoy. It's like why do I enjoy it? It's like it's the escapism just to be able to turn that, and which I think is important. Like I don't think we should all have nothing to kind of turn off, but it shouldn't take up like a majority of you shouldn't be trying to escape all the time.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So like you even drinking, that's cool, but you shouldn't want to drink all the time.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You want to watch a movie here and there, it's cool. You shouldn't want to watch TV 20 hours a day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's just you trying to I don't want to face reality.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's all that is.
Yeah.
So understand that little stuff too. Like, okay, what am I replacing with? Like, you replace it like I want to have when you get older you replace things with memories. You know what I'm saying? So you rather go on a trip with somebody you love versus like, let me just buy this, and this, and this, because like we get it. Like I got it. There's nothing I'm getting that from. So replacing with that. So when you have a life coming too, it's like I find myself getting excited. I was like, we was watching Iron Man the other day, the first one, and I was like, you know what? I can't wait till like Halloween. I could like make him a costume where it's like authentic like rope. And I was like, I started smiling. She's like, you're actually smiling, isn't it? Like I'm like just thinking about like my hypothetical, like building him something. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like, that'd be so dope just to be able to do this. And like I was like, oh shit, like I'd rather just kind of do that than kind of get lost and just go and playing something just to turn my brain off. And part of it is too like I get to share that experience with this human that I've
that
created,
part, and it's crazy. Now we're talking about that. Like I recently realized this is one of the things that kind of like got me like really thinking about a lot of shit was like life really is supposed to be like lived with other people, bro. Like you're supposed to experience shit with other people. Cause like when I had recently went on this trip to Chicago, bro, and I'm driving on the road by myself. I ain't gonna lie, boy, shit got really weird, boy. Like that's where a lot of this shit happened. Cause I was just like, man, it's beautiful mountains and this and this and that. That's cool. And for a while, I was like, yeah, that's dope. But then it was like, okay, still mountains, still snow. And I'm like, I ain't gonna, this shit like, but if I was with, the only thing I couldn't stop thinking about it, if I was with somebody else.
Entirely different experience.
Yeah, just anybody, a female, my kids, whatever. It's like seeing them see it would just be that much more, that would almost be it. Yeah. It's not the mountains, bro. Like, so when cause I used to like to think I was like one of the people, I can go, traveling by myself, this and that. Which I think you could, but it's like not you would have to go by yourself and interact with other people. Yeah. Like that's two different things. Like if I was out there in that forest just to the neck, I would not like I didn't like it. You know what I mean? Or in the woods or fucking mountains, whatever. Cause it was just like, bro, this shit is okay, I get it, whatever. You know what I mean? But it's the interaction with other people. You know what I mean? So I don't know, maybe it's just because I've been, pretty much solo for like 10 plus years when my kids ain't here. And then I was just like, I don't know. I was thinking to myself, like, I don't know if it's just been so long or what. But then I was just like, nah, bro, it's just like, I just need to put more energy into my relationships with people. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
It does make a difference, bro.
Yeah.
It does make even like if you spend a holiday with yourself versus like with somebody else, like how big a difference it is.
Oh, yeah.
You don't give a fuck about a holiday.
That shit is depressing as fuck, bro. Yeah. Like, I ain't gonna lie. I remember New Year's Day. I think it was New Year's.
And then, especially a holiday is going to amplify it. You're like, oh, ain't this bitch. Like, you start feeling like Scrooge and shit. Like,
bro, back in, I don't remember what year it was, but I had a little apartment. It was a nice apartment. And I remember it was New Year's Eve, bro. And I was up in there. I was outside. Man, I was like on some real loner shit. Like had a cigar with myself and everything, smoking, just thinking like, it is New Year's Eve, bro, and I'm to the neck. My kids are somewhere else. They ain't, it wasn't even a thing to all be together now. It was, and I was just like, you know what, bro? I got so in my head about it. I think I went out. I want to say I went out, got drunk, the usual, didn't remember too much of that shit. And I literally came home and was like, you know what I got this apartment. Fuck this apartment. I like walked out of it. Like I think the next 2 days I sold everything and then I just dipped. You know what I mean? Because it was like you get to
what
that.
What do I have this shit for?
Yeah, like what is the purpose of this and that? And that's why I wanted to like bring it up is because like I think, because I kind of regret doing that because it was just an emotional thing and it was the fact that I was by myself and I expected things to be this way and that way. And it made me like act on it. You know what I mean?
Bro, when I moved to Vallejo, when I had the big ass house, I came from like a little ass apartment. We was all crammed in that shit. But then my brother, he went back to Texas. My sister, she moved to Irvine to go to school. My other little brother, he ended up moving out. But I had this big ass house. I'm like, oh, this is real nice. But I'm like, I don't need all this. Like, it was great to live in a big house, having all this space, bro. 5-bedroom house, bro. I'm like, I don't even like. Yeah. And then I leave most of the day. I'm like, bro, this is like, I was like, this ain't even like, this ain't nothing like. I'm like, I was power like 2 days, and I'm like, this ain't that cool, bro. Like I was telling them about it, bro. I'm like, oh, I don't need none of this shit. But it's like I'm not sharing this with enough people. Like this, I don't have a need.
You start thinking about what is, you know what I mean, and that's why it took me so long to buy a house, is because like my kids they were not with me 24/7, and sometimes they're leaving less, less and less, and then sometimes they come over more. But it still is like, I'm gonna get a house, and then I knew it. It happened with this house, bro. Like I was like, man, this house, hella dope. I love this spot, this and that. A couple of days in, I'm like, okay. My kids wasn't even, here like that because school started and closer to their mom and all that shit. But I was just like, damn, and then, but your mind will start playing tricks on you like, man, you don't need that. You don't need this, which I technically don't. But where I'm in the realm of now is just like bringing it back around and be like, what could I make this? Like, what potentially could I make it? You know what I mean? Now, my biggest thing is like I said, I really want to keep something like this going on with this show and all that. And like, man, I could have like a whole dope studio downstairs. You know what I mean? Like different ways that like motivators or whatever to keep
Yeah.
it. You know what I mean? On top of like having somewhere, when I get older or financial things, plays or whatever
Yeah.
I could make. But yeah, bro, when you in that moment, you feeling bad and you're like, well, this ain't happening. I know I do. I'll be like, fuck it. You know what I mean? But I try to wrap it up as, oh, I'm detached. Buddha didn't even know house. I don't even know how, like that kind of shit. But it's like
you needed that shit
yeah,
3 months ago.
Yeah, exactly. I worked hard and did all
At
this
some
and
point, that was like the most important thing. I was like, I gotta
yeah,
get
yep. So I think it's important to just kind of like stop sometimes when you get in them ruts, whether it's just in life shit or business shit, and just take a second, to ask yourself like, what am I doing? How am I feeling inside? What's triggering this? And take it into like little smaller, like micro to-dos. You know what I mean? Because like you said, you'll make this big old long list, and now it's not just little things you got. It's like, oh man, this whole list. Actually, let me just take a nap. This shit seemed hella overwhelming already. You know what I mean? And so that's kind of where I'm at. You know what I mean? And that's why. And I kind of identify like what it is that kind of brings me joy and what I want to do. And like I said, I remember we was doing the podcast. I really like that shit. You know what I mean? Talking and doing all that. So I was like, bro, I got to get some shit going back up with that. That's why even today I was like, bro, it's getting darker and darker too. Like I don't want to do a bunch of I don't want to overcomplicate it to where it seems like, oh fuck, it's overwhelmed. I got to do this.
I think even with that, bro, we get lost in like, all right, what you get joy out of it is just to talk, the conversation.
Yeah.
Versus like now I have to monetize this, or I have to like make this to, like I have to broadcast this, and that's where you kind of get lost. No different from like you love doing something, and then once you make it a business, then it becomes about like, oh shit, now I gotta do this, gotta make X amount of money, so you kind of start losing like sight of the reason that you love shit.
Yeah, I guess that's the point of what like a mission statement or like the ethos of your company or whatever. Just identifying that and keep that being your North Star. You feel me?
And once it's all about money, then it's like you might lose. Like a lot of companies do it too. Same people. The reason people when they make music, they make it because they love it. Now when it comes to like, oh, now you just have to get viewed the most, and they start making songs where it's just like nonsense because this is what people want to hear.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like that's not even the music they were initially doing. That's just what this, whoever's financially backing. I'm like, you have to make this. You have to make the. It happens across the board where people get lost in that.
And shit gets weird, bro. I confess, I ain't gonna. That's halfway why I wanted to do this show, just so I could just get my confessions out. But bro, I ain't gonna lie. Like even with me, like with the business, you get caught up on the gram and all that. You seeing all this and that. You're like, oh man, I want to get well, how do I get to those levels or get those clients? I need higher end clientele, whatever. Yeah. Okay, let's appeal, let's make it all grandiose and looking this way and that way. And then before you know it, it's like I got a suit on and taking pictures, doing these little photo shoots and shit. Like, bro, that ain't like, when I go out and step out and
inauthentic.
Shit. My shit is called authentic black and gray, but I'm doing a whole bunch of other shit that ain't really me. Yeah. And so, you just stray away from the real mission. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna be doing, I'm probably gonna be doing some big business, whatever motto changes or whatever, because it gets off the path and shit, and then it should just.
And then you start now. I think whenever you start getting resenting what you do.
Yeah, because
what used to bring you happiness, you're like, man, I don't even want to look at that.
Yeah.
I want to look at that camera. I don't even want to like. Then you're like, oh shit, well, this is what I'm supposed to. This is what usually be my escape.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, I don't even want to. Like look at it this way, you know what I'm saying? Because it brings stress, it brings negativity.
It's almost like almost like you're moving. Your like integrity is kind of like getting fucked with. It's like you're moving out of it, like whatever. I'm shooting these type of videos when I wanted to do this. You're just trying to pay the bills, and it does.
Oh yeah, we all done it.
Pull up one of Dane's videos right now.
God damn. Yeah. I ain't gonna. So I've definitely had work I don't even want to look at, bro. Where I'm like, it might be on a hard drive somewhere, and I was like, you know what? I just did that because I need $1,000.
Yeah.
Like in 2 days. You know what I'm saying? So I went and just did some shit where I was like, I didn't enjoy this. There was no artistic value in it.
Yeah.
And my heart wasn't in it. I might half-assed it just to get it to the person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's definitely part of it. You know what I'm saying? But I think a lot of people do get lost in that. And that's like the separation of like our business and the creativity.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's very, very tough too.
It is. And nobody talks about it.
No, I didn't know until I'm in there and I have bills where I'm like, oh shit, I can't say no. You know what I'm saying? They say, oh, they learn to say no. Like, I don't have an option to say no.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
at a
yeah.
certain point, it's like I can't say no to nothing.
Because
You
I'm
know?
gonna say no to this, but I'm saying yes to losing my car or something. You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? Like that's what it
Like,
is, and then you get in that. But yeah, there's no manual, so it's literally like learn as you go. And I remember when I first started, before I quit my job at the bank, bro. I thought I did so much research, especially with business owners. I got mostly just people telling me all the good parts.
Yep.
No one told me literally like if you're even a person who's prone to depression, you are kicking the fucking door down. Not even to open the window. You're kicking the door down like to more stress, and like if you don't know how to handle it, it's just gonna amplify. You know what I'm saying? Like and it hit me like a ton of bricks. I was like, what the fuck? And I'm like, and then I'm starting to feel guilty. Like, oh shit, I just put everything I had into this.
Yeah.
And there is no plan B because I don't know what the fuck is like going on. And like now I have to navigate this in real time and try to make this shit work.
Yeah.
Nobody, I can't think of one person that like prepared me for that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if somebody asks me for advice, usually like I don't tell them the highs are high. Like we know that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
tell you like this is the worst part. You know what I'm saying? If you're not prepared to like take on the worst parts, then don't even like put yourself through that shit. You know?
Yeah. And even like another step further, it's like I feel like even working through that, like working through the stress and the depressions, that's a skill in itself. So I would almost like, if someone asks me like, what you think about doing your own business or whatever, I would say that like, make sure you have a foundation, make sure your motives is right, make sure your little mission statement of your North Star in this business is right. And those are the things, you know what I mean? We get so caught up in whatever, marketing and branding and this and that. Like, bro, it don't make, that's why I put so much energy into like my little therapy shit and like just talking to people and doing, like making sure my heart and my mind is right, because I could be rich as fuck, and if that ain't right and one little thing happened, that's what you see the richest people do the craziest shit sometimes, you know, because they focus so much on the business part of it that they don't have it up in here or in their heart, or they shit ain't solid. You know
I will say, this is like something I got out of it I never thought was possible. Was like, I'm someone who like, I dealt with depression from teenage years, you know what I'm saying? But I never really dealt with it. Yeah. Quitting my job, like I thought I quit my job because the job was making me depressed. I was depressed long before that.
Yeah.
Doing this, like, man, it amplifies it. It's like in a fucking magnifying glass. It forced me to deal with it. It, like I had no choice. If I'm gonna continue, like I have no choice but to deal with it. But you know, you get to the darkest of places, and like oh shit, like I needed that. You know, I needed to. You damn near lose everything. And then like, but like now you're like, oh shit, like I never probably would have been going through the same old cycle, just in a more of a comfortable level, had I not like put myself through that. You know?
No, that's real.
Now
shit.
some people don't get to the, you know, they don't deal with it. Like maybe they might have crash and burn, whatever it is. But I was forced to like, okay, if you're gonna continue to do this, like you have no choice but to like look at yourself and then handle, you know, like really kind of understand yourself, what's going on, why you feeling like this, and handle those like situations and emotions. But,
exactly. I think I look at it. I was watching a pod. I wish I knew the lady's name. I forget their name, but she said it, and that shit just like put so much perspective on it, bro. Like basically, she explained it as like a tax. You know what I'm saying? Like this is hers was referencing like divorce. You know what I mean? She was like. She said her father basically told her like when she got divorced, because she was going through it, she was like, oh yeah, you're paying like the divorce tax or whatever. Like you thought you were just going to divorce and everything's going to be, oh, it's so much better. Nah, you have to pay your dues because your life is probably going to be so much better, but you still got to pay. You're going to have to pay the piper.
It's not a free type of thing.
I literally think that every time now when I get in these modes where you get so straight or so down and you just be like, bro, you thought this shit was just gonna be like this, like, you know what I mean?
Well, bro, from the outside looking in, that's how people make it seem.
You know
what I'm saying? It's almost like the same way, like you know, what's the traditional way? Like you go to college for a couple of years, you get out, you get a little, like we got a college experience. You know what I'm saying? Like the same way. Like I think about my first 4 years. I'm like, oh shit, I paid way more dues than you paid about going to college and getting ready. Like I literally, like, you in the shit, bro. Like it's the same type of thing. It's like it's like just readying you. It's like there's no, and I guess some people do luck out and like they get super successful in their first year for whatever reason. But
I think they just ain't paid their tax yet.
The tax, like
it's coming,
the bill
bro.
comes due,
and it's gonna come even bigger.
The bill gonna come due
because they got whatever, they cashed out quicker. But I really believe that, bro. Like you have to. So I would say like almost the goal is like, building up the resilience and like the skill of like paying your taxes and keeping it pushing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like taxes, that's a good analogy because there's no getting
Escaping.
around it.
Yeah,
the IRS
straight
always
up.
gets their shit, bro. They always
Straight
get their
up.
shit. And if it's 20 years down the line, they going to come and get their
Bruh,
shit, bro.
I'm about to put that on my tombstone. Either the IRS tax is gonna give me or the life tax gonna give me. One or the other. It's gonna
It
be
might
one
be
of
at
them.
the same time,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah, for real, fucking with me, it might be both.
Double dip on your ass, man.
Yeah, but no, I just think that even, it sounds funny, like even having those little sayings and shit are sometimes like tools to deal with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Instead of being like, oh man, like you said, clouds is following me. Nah, you know what, bro? I'm just paying. Let me take this tax to the chin, and then I'll get back on.
I made my payment this month.
Yeah,
I'm smooth sailing from here. Yeah.
Yep. And and just having that mechanism or whatever to think about, just to kind of soften the blow, but then at the same time also taking accountability and thinking like, what was there things that I could have done different? You know what I mean? Where did I make a wrong decision, or maybe did this that might have led to this? Because it does a lot of times just lead back to us. Sometimes, like I said, there's some shit above that's teaching us a lesson or whatever, but sometimes it's literally just a decision we knew damn well we was making when we made it. It was wrong, but we went through with it, and now we just having to pay the tax. You know what I mean? So I think that gives you a little more power too. You know what I mean? Yeah. But then again, we ain't got all the power, because like that's where I kind of got on it. I got so much in my head of like, nah, bro, like I should be able to do this because I can figure this out. I can figure it out. Like if I do this, if I do what this dude doing, I should be able to do what that guy doing. It's like so much like that.
Definitely, I definitely resonate with that. Sometimes you get cocky, you're like, I'm hella good at this. Like,
I can do this shit.
Bro, I do this in my sleep, I get like, I'm super smart. Like, how come I'm, I almost get mad. Like, I'm so smart. Like, people way dumber than me. You got to figure out, it's a bitch. Like, I'm starting getting mad at like the world. You know what I'm saying? Then you start getting resentful of everything else. Like, this don't even make any fucking sense.
They've mastered the art of, hey, let's just take the wheel.
I done for sure got like that where I'm like, man, I'm smart. I know how to do this. I can do hella different shit. Yeah. Shit ain't working. Like, then I'm just mad. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, then I find like, I don't even have anybody to be mad at, bro. Like, but then you might take that into in your day in the world. Like, you just walk around a person mad at nobody. You know what I'm saying? You really mad at yourself. Because you don't want to fucking, like give in. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much what it is.
And that's what I think it is I think it's just people continuing to like try to just bang at that door, like let me in. Like I deserve to be in. I can do this as long as I keep knocking hard enough. Eventually it's gonna open. And I don't really think that's the case, bro. Like it's not. I mean, you just look at it like that's where you get them. Just hard work pays off. Man, I know so many hard working motherfuckers that they just like mice in the wheel. You know what I mean? They ain't getting nowhere when they running. But like, it takes a sense of what is that? Just like grace or just like peace or something, like just to kind of go with it and just like let that like serenity, bro. That's why I got that shit. It's crazy. Is I got that shit tatted across my stomach, but like
you don't forgot. You don't read it ever.
I still somehow.
I remember it's on my fucking chest.
Yeah, but I still somehow forget or think that I can do everything, control everything, and it's like the more I get in those modes, you know what I mean. It's to the point now where I like, if I have a bad day, like I'm literally gonna make that a practice to be like, man, let me stop. How am I feeling about being in the world right now? You know what I mean? Or how am I feeling about my part in it?
I forget it might be the same author you was talking about earlier, but they were talking about like going against the current. The world has a flow to it, but it's like being on the river.
Yeah.
If it's flowing this way, and no matter how hard you try, if you're trying to swim the opposite way, and you can be the fastest swimmer, the strongest person, but like the current's gonna push you, and all you're doing is like hitting resistance because you're trying to swim upstream. Yeah. Sometimes you just have to like let it flow. You know what I'm saying? They're really trying to go with that.
Yeah. And I think that's just like legit, like the flow state. You know what I mean? When shit's just, I'm telling you, like you ever get in modes where it's like, bro, like everything is just all the doors is opening, bro. Like what I got this, like what I fucking got a house, boy. I just this shit is just happening too easy. You know what I mean? And that's why I really believe, bro. Like shit ain't even. It's we could kind of push a little trajectory towards certain things, but it's something else going on here, and I think we gotta remember that and just stay humble about the shit, cause if not, it's gonna get humble you real quick, man. Yeah. But man. But shit, yeah. Anything else going on? in your beneath your skin or what?
Oh shit, we might need 18 more episodes.
I know, right? Nah, that's what I really, I think my hopes with this is just getting people on here to just like talk about some real shit, and and it could be even good shit too. You know what I mean? It got to be all, confessions and all that, but just like I just wanted to give people like a platform so they could watch. I know me, bro. I'm so over. Like I don't want to see a bunch of fucking pranks and this and that. Like that shit ain't appealing to me.
I think it would be refreshing to see like people are still human.
Yeah.
Because I think if you don't see that, you might in your head like, oh yeah, the world's changed this much where like nothing's real anymore. Like I can't trust shit. I can't, and you're gonna start justifying because that's all you can see. And some people like their window is that just their little black box. Mm-hmm. Like that's all. That's if they may never go outside, and this is all they only authenticity they get. Like oh, this confirms everything. Like, nothing exists. All the food is bad. There's terrible people everywhere. There's no nice people. You know what I'm saying? I'll never find a mate. And that's how it just gets reinforced over and over and over.
Exactly.
So at least something good to put out there. Like this is actually real. Like people are still humans.
Have a little humility and just show
people go through shit sometimes. Like that's actually normal. Not everybody's winning all the fucking time. Like.
No, that was my hopes. That's my hopes for it. You feel me? Like even. Like I'm not getting all, I'm sure I'll get dressed up, but right now I'm lounging. You feel me? Looking like I just got out of fucking jail or in prison right now.
So damn well, I wear sweatpants 80% of the time, bro. Like, I'm not even gonna pretend. Like, but imagine I just showed up dressed up. Like, what the fuck you doing? Like, I don't even do this on a regular basis, but just to do it on camera.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna do that, bro. I'm gonna make like a mission statement or like a, statement like of things that I want to keep, like authentic. Real topics, real shit. Like, just something to keep us in line to where, like, I can kind of, like, just keep us in the frame. And then when I know, oh, shit, boy, we just, whatever. My boy just promoted his album for, like, 30 minutes. Like, nah, that's not in our little guideline. It's not, promote that or somewhere else. You know what I mean? Like, so, yeah, that's going to be interesting.
I want to hear about when your parents abandoned you.
Yeah.
Like,
what made you want to be a rapper, man? And when? So yeah, man. Nah, I think that's it, bro. Like I said, it ain't gotta be hella crazy, but I'm glad we could do the first episode, like on my birthday, and just like when a lot of this stuff is kind of like definitely going on right now. You know what I mean? I felt like it was a big, I don't know, it's just a perfect time to just like show people like motherfuckers is real out here. It's authentic. You know what I mean? You're not alone.
I got one question for you before you cut it off. So all right. Since you have the camera going too, like, so what do you want to? What's your expectation for your next birthday when you do this? Like, how different are you now as the next time,
birthday.
The birthday anniversary of this. Like, what should we expect?
We're gonna have to do an episode at least every birthday now. Start it up. I would say right now, honestly and realistically, I would love to have it be a thriving podcast with a lot of viewers, and just a lot of engagement, a lot of like back and forth comments, a lot of. I want it to be, oh man, what's he gonna put out? Who's he gonna be talking to next week? I need to hear some shit. I've been feeling this way. That kind of vibe, around the overall thing. I would like it to have like a designated studio to where it's just people just know and like I can really set the tone and the vibe of the pace, you know what I mean? Hopefully maybe even like downstairs or something, have it all decked out with a nice lighting, maybe look a little, just look away. But at the end of the day, even if it don't, like basically just being consistent and having episodes all the way until next year so I can land it on next year without any breaks or anything. I think that would probably be the goal for sure next year. Yeah.
Cool.
And to look a little younger, be healthier. Shit, I'm already getting healthier, man. I got a couple little things. We're gonna have to have a whole episode just on health shit. You know what I mean? But I think I believe like as soon I want to try to like kind of work on like what's up here, what's on the inside, and I feel like once you start getting that more, I guess operating a little bit better, like everything else kind of follows. You know what I mean? I really believe that because like I done been in shape and doing this and doing that, but still shit ain't happy. And I think that's what kind of led me down this thing. It's like, bro,
working out the wrong muscle.
Yeah, man. It's like, bro, for real. It's like, bro, I got hella shit. I had hella shit. And I don't care about it. It's because it ain't feeling whatever I need to get felt. You know what I'm saying? And so I really believe that. But yeah, man, that's about it. First episode of Beneath the Ink. You know what I mean?
And happy birthday.
Yeah. I was thinking about putting a big ass intro and doing some graphics, but I'm just gonna put it out just to get it out.
Just to
put it out, get it out in the universe.
All that stuff comes there. Yeah, you gotta get started to get started. You know what I'm saying?
I think I've been so much on like everything gotta be perfect the first time, or it's very black and white or whatever. But it's like, man, at the end of the day, bro, like I just want to talk my shit and talk to people and put that shit out there as it, goes into, all that shit will come into fruition on its own, So, it's good for sure. That's it. Yeah. It's a wrap.
Do you have like a ending? Like how do you get off? You just
shit. That's about it. We out.
He's like, what do you think of that? 20 episodes in, like, we should cut it this way.
Whatever I feel, how I want to feel, when I want to cut it, that's how we do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That should end up getting cut 15. Like this episode, 15 minutes long. Was 6 hours long. Like it was
the
just
audio
slow,
might be off. We still working on this shit.
It might.
Yeah, we gonna figure it out. But yeah, we out, man. Till next week, because we are doing it. I'm gonna do it every week, for sure.
Oh, yeah.